Parties in the case have a judgment of divorce signed June 15th, 2022, which orders Mr. DeClark to contribute child support and medical support for 2 children in the amount of $503 per month. This is the first hearing before the court. The current balance owed on the account is $3,835.38, of which $3,623.36 is owed to Ms. Dotson in child support and medical support. There are fees, and then there's medical support owed to the state, an arrearage of $170.02. Payments on the account in the past year, we had active income withholding. October 2022, the account was current. We received $168.77 in November. No payment for December, and then we received small payments in January, February. Current plus arrearages were paid in March and April, and the last payment posted was May, $255.86.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. DeClark, are you currently employed?
No, I'm not. I had a bad accident April 29th, and I broke both my feet, my pelvis. So I'm unable to work at this point. I was going back to work, but it's on hold again.
And are you seeing, who do you see, if anybody, for treatment at this point?
Dr. Grows Close out of Traverse City.
Okay. And do you know when your next medical appointment will be?
I would have to look. I believe it's in November.
Okay. So what we're going to do is send you a form called a physician's disability form. And please send that to Dr. Gross-Close or whoever your doctor is to review. And then the doctor will review that form, send it back to the front of the court. And then if you have any documentation yourself regarding your health situation, please send some copies of whatever documents you have to the front of the court, so that they have that information about your health condition. And I'm going to adjourn this hearing to allow you time to give this form that you're going to be sent to your doctor, and then to provide any documents you have to the front of the court. Do you have any questions about any of that?
No, I already sent that all in to him. I'm not sure. She sent me, I talked to the Julie like 6-7 times, and she sent me the forms. I sent them back. So I don't know if they got lost in like the mail or what happened, but we're here now.
So well, let's try it again. We'll try it again. And the physician's disability form, when you get that, please send that to your doctor, and we'll see where we stand at the next hearing. Did you need any more information, Ms. Mullen?
No, Your Honor. I did not find anything in the file with regards to any medical injury. So I will follow up with Ms. Dubé as well, or Ms. White, and let her know that you've indicated that you submitted what she had requested, but we'll send you some new forms as well.
Okay.
Mr. DeClark, Ms. Dotson, I'll see you both at the next hearing. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
So Dale has been renting out his house as a form of income, and he's been working under the table at the local gas station that we meet at.
So I guess, Ms. Dotson, what you might want to do is, if you have proof that Mr. DeClark is lying to the court, submit any proof you have to your friend of the court caseworker, and we'll look at that as well when we come to the next hearing.
Okay. Yeah, I've got proof of all of it. I'll email all that to Julie today.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. This is an arrears only case, and the last charge on the account was $143.55 for one child. Mr. Hammonds has a history of incarceration. He paroled last in 2016, and we were in court regarding his arrears balances in March of this year, as well as October of 2022. He had offered $50 a month payments on the account, and he was self-employed, working in the Gaylord area. In this case, the balance currently owed is $3,793.92, of which $1,882.61 remains owed to Ms. Hosler in child support. And then there are fees and cost and birth and delivery owed to the state. Payments on the account since our March hearing, he made a total of $133.33 on the account paid in March of this year, and then a $50 payment posted October 10th this month.
Okay, thank you. All right. So Mr. Hammonds, are you currently employed?
I'm self-employed, sir. I do construction. I'm still in the Gaylor area.
All right. Do you have any health issues?
No. Nope.
Okay. All right. And as far as what kind of construction work do you typically do?
Framing, a little bit of everything. It's, hit and miss this time. I mean, it's just up and down, but kind of consistent a little bit, but yeah, mainly framing.
And do you do work with any general contractors?
No, I mean, not really. There's a guy I kind of sub from quite often, but pretty much I just get to work, by word of mouth.
And where are most of your jobs at, like geographic wise?
Mainly like Gaylord and Bel Air area, Shush Mountain and Gaylord, kind of back and forth between the two of them. So like Bel Air and Gaylord, kind of back and forth.
Okay. Do you have transportation?
Yes, I do.
All right. How many vehicles do you own?
One.
Okay. And do you own any tools?
I do have like the basic hand tools and, tool belt, what goes in that, and a couple of drills and saws and stuff. Yes, I do have some tools, not like a lot, but I have enough to do my job, I guess.
Do you own any compressors?
No, everything is, cordless nowadays. So.
Okay. All right. So then, as far as what's your housing situation?
I rent.
Okay. And how much is your rent each month?
It's like, I think it's $1,300 a month, and then plus I pay electric, but my girlfriend lives with me as well, and we kind of split everything.
Is the electric included in the $1,300?
No.
Okay. How much is the electric?
It's about, I don't know, 150 roughly a month.
All right.
Winter is a little more. Summer is not as much. So.
Okay. Are you current on your rent?
Yes.
Are you current on the electric?
Yes.
Do you have propane?
No.
Natural gas then?
No, everything's pretty much electric.
Okay. All right. Your girlfriend helps you. Is that what I heard?
Well, this with the bills. Yeah, we kind of, we make it work between the two of us. It's just the two of us.
All right. Nobody else living there except you and your significant other?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. And then any other bills that the court should know about?
I mean, I have a truck note I pay like $360 a month for. I'm almost done with that. And I think I have a couple personal loans. One's like 85 or 86 bucks a month, and the other one's like 135.
Okay. Are you current on your truck note?
Yes, I'm current on everything.
Okay. Okay. All right, then. So I guess, at this point, Ms. Mullen, did you just want to go ahead and call the other two cases, and then we'll take care of all three all at the same time?
Sure. This also is an arrears only case. The remaining balances owed in this case are fees and costs. The total is $857.92. And payments on the account since our hearing in March, we received $50 in October. And then in the matter of Tanya Tomlin versus Michael Hammond. This is an arrears only case as well. Birth and delivery and fees remain owed. The last charge in this case was $78.30 a month. and there were 2 children. The balance owed $2,937.62, of which the state is owed $2,087.12 in birth and delivery, and then there are fees. Payments on the account in this case, since our March hearing. In March, we received $66.67 and then a $50 payment this month. And just so the court is aware or reminded, Mr. Hammonds has an arrears only case out of Kalkaska County as well.
Right then. Okay. So the statute that the court has to apply today is MCL 552.633. And that statute states in subsection 3 that in the absence of proof to the contrary introduced by the payer, the court shall presume that the payer has currently available resources equal to 1 month of payments under the support order. Now, this is these are 3 cases where they're arrears only cases. So that there's actually no specific monthly amount that's required. However, there are arrearages that need to be paid, or at least, if not in full, at least in some amount each month. And that hasn't been happening each month. Subsection 1 of the statute provides that if the court is satisfied that the payer has the capacity to pay out of currently available resources, at least some portion of the amount due, that the court may find that payer in contempt. This is a case where Mr. Hammonds is current on all of his bills, and he's got a $1,300 a month rent bill, $150 a month electric, truck note, $360 a month, 2 loans. One is about $86 a month, and the other is about $135 a month. In order for him to maintain, to be current on all those bills, he must have some substantial income coming in. His girlfriend helps him with bills. There's no one else living at the house that would, prevent him from being able to work or otherwise be a drain on his resources. He's healthy. He has transportation. He's a framer. He's got his own tools. The court finds on this record that there's no reason for Mr. Hammonds not to have been consistently paying something, more than zero on a lot of these months. Unfortunately, in a lot of these months, it was zero. So because of that, the court finds that Mr. Hammonds is in contempt of court. He'll be placed on probation for a period of 2 years for these 3 cases. During that 2-year period, he'll have to make payments according to the following payment plan. The payment plan is he'll have to pay $50 a month in each of those cases. If he does not make payments according to that plan, a bench warrant will be issued for his arrest. The amount of the bond will be set at $1,500, which he will have to pay or serve 5 days in jail. Seems like a doable payment plan, so hopefully there will be no bench warrant issued. I'll conclude our hearing.
This is a first show cause hearing before the court. Parties have a 4th order modifying order for custody, support, and parenting time signed May 25th, 2022, which orders Mr. Dawson to contribute child support and medical support for 1 child in the amount of $88 per month, and that charge began June of 2022. The current balance owed on the account is $855. Of which $528 is owed in child support to Miss Richmond. The state is owed $264, and then there are fees. Payments on the account since charges began. We received an involuntary payment in March of this year, $704.
Okay, thank you. So Mr. Dawson, are you currently employed?
No, actually right now I'm not.
Okay. When were you last employed?
I think it's been 3 weeks.
Okay. And who were you last working for?
Technically, I was self-employed because I was 1099, but my brother and I had a subcontracting company.
Okay. And what kind of work were you doing as, that 1099 worker?
It was construction.
Okay. And did, as a 1099 worker, did you have a DBA or an LLC?
I had an LLC.
Okay. What is the name of your LLC?
I'm not sure exactly right now. I'd have to pull it up.
Okay. That's all right.
For you.
Sure. Go ahead.
Say if you want, I mean, if you keep going, it's going to take me a second. I'll have to pull up.
So I guess one question is, how long have you had your LLC for?
I think it's been about a year, a little over.
Okay. And has the LLC always been for construction type work?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Are you a member of any union?
No. No.
Did you do any kind of apprenticeship with anyone?
Just not professional, I guess. I'm not like no, not really.
Okay.
I kind of one of those like work along with him, kind of showing me what I'm doing wrong, kind of thing, I guess. But nothing.
What is I mean, do you have a specialty?
Mostly siding, but we were doing some framing as well.
Okay. And so did you get work from general contractors? Is that what would happen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what general contractors did you get work from?
The biggest one, pretty much the only one that we were using then, was Haka & Sons. And it was
where are they out of?
East Jordan.
Okay. And is that residential, commercial, or both?
Mostly residential, but I do believe they were doing some commercial, but we did all residential.
And the residential that you were working on, what area was that in?
We were between Charlevoix, Petoskey, and East Jordan for the most part.
Okay. Okay. So what is the plan now for work?
I'm kind of bouncing around on a couple of things. I may end up going back and doing the same thing. I'm not sure. Kind of making the decision. I'm going to meet with him this week.
And who's him?
It's my brother.
Okay. Did you have a falling out with your brother?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Do you think he would take you back?
He's been begging me to come back.
Okay. Does he need workers?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you have any other irons in the fire?
Kind of looking around. I applied for a few environmental science jobs. I had one interview with a company in Travers, but I don't think that one went through very well. But
okay.
Yeah, I've been throwing it out there.
All right. And I guess as far as transportation, do you have transportation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you own tools?
Yes.
All right. And what is your housing situation?
Right now I'm renting, but kind of looking for something else now too, because just
go ahead.
So I sold my house, and then I was living, I guess, I don't know, it's kind of confusing there, moving in with a girlfriend, and then it didn't pan out, so now I'm kind of in limbo. But
were you renting with your significant other?
I was just kind of starting. We weren't even really moved in all the way when it kind of fell apart. So
okay.
And then before that,
where are you staying now?
Renting from my parents, so they have, but that's just temporary.
Okay. And is it in the house where they live?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you've moved back in with your parents.
Yeah.
Okay. Any health issues?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Richmond, was there anything that you wanted to say today about how the lack of support is affecting your household?
No, sir.
Okay.
I wouldn't say lack of support. I just
the record indicates that there have been no child support payments since March. So that's kind of what caused the order to show cause to be issued. There's a court order that requires payment of $88 a month child support. So that's the order today. And so the court has to look at that. And the statute that applies is MCL 552.633. In subsection 3 of that statute, it states that in the absence of proof to the contrary introduced by the payer, the court shall presume that the payer has currently available resources equal to 1 month of payments under the support order. In this case, 1 month of payments is $88. Based on what this court has heard, it sounds like Mr. Dawson is capable of paying $88 each month towards the child support amount owed. So for that reason, the court has to, under the statute, find Mr. Dawson in contempt today. He'll be placed on a payment plan for 2 years. And the payment plan is that he'll have to pay his child support $88 each month, plus an additional $20 each month towards the arrearage. If he doesn't make payments according to that plan, a bench warrant will be issued for his arrest. The amount of the bond will be set at $500, which he'll have to pay or serve 5 days in jail.
Is there any way to apply money that he has given to me personally towards it?
Well, I guess this is a situation where maybe Mr. Dawson, and I could be wrong, but it sounds like maybe Mr. Dawson has given Miss Richmond some money that wasn't taken into account in the child support records. Is that correct, Miss Richmond?
Yeah, I do have record of one, and then he was going to actually give me some funds also today. So I was hoping maybe with the proof of both of those showing that they came from him, that we could maybe do something with that.
Well, okay. So this makes it really hard for the front of the court with their record keeping when, there's these informal payments going back and forth. This probably wouldn't have come before the court had that been known. How much of the arrearage do you want to write off today, Miss Richmond?
So as of today, it was 230. And then he was going to give me another 230 today. I actually just updated my address, so I wasn't getting any information from you guys. That was my apologies.
Okay. So what's the total arrearage, Miss Mullen?
The total arrearage is $855. Miss Richmond is currently owed $528 through the end of the month.
So do you want to write off the 230, or did you want to write off 460 with on the hope that he's going to give you the other 230? What are you thinking?
Yeah, can I just do the 460 today?
You understand that if we do this, you can't come back later and ask for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we'll write off 460, and I'll dismiss the order to show cause.
Okay.
Thank you both.
Thank you,
Parties
sir.
have a referee recommendation and order on defendant's objection signed October 10th, 2022, which orders Ms. Hart to contribute child support and medical support for 2 children in the amount of $539 per month. That began May of 2022, which was a decrease from a previous charge of $581 a month. We were in court in June of this year, and due to some hardships Ms. Hart was experiencing with a child in her care who has special needs, that hearing was dismissed. The current balance owed on the account is $3,575.36, of which $3,165.86 is owed in child support to Mr. Hooksma. The state is owed $346.50, and then there are fees. Payments on the account since the June show cause hearing, there have been none. There were payments previously going back to October of 2022. There was a withholding payment that produced $118.89. And then March of this year, an involuntary offset of $2,999. In May, an involuntary offset of $439.
Okay, so Ms. Mullen, when was the last time, and I might have missed it, when was the last time there was a child support review done in this case?
There was one done in October of 2022.
Okay. And what monthly gross income, if you have that, was used for the pair?
I believe it was based on 76 overnights of parenting time with the minor children, $598 a week gross income.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Hart, are you making $598 a week?
No, right now I'm applying for jobs because I'm waiting on SSI so I can make some type of payment to child support. But SSI got delayed until the end of November, she goes in for some more testing to finish out the claim. So we won't know anything until the beginning of next year. And with that SSI, I planned on paying probably close to $2,000 on it because of so much back pay that we're getting. But I am currently applying for jobs, trying to get part-time third shift, so that way I can take her back and forth to her ABA and bring in some type of income to pay some child support.
How much are you earning each week right now?
It's just my husband's income. So right now I'm not earning anything.
And how long has that been the case for?
Since October of last year, because she was diagnosed with autism and she was going through ABA services, which was 30 plus hours a week.
Okay. All right.
And I know that's not an excuse, but I need to be here for the children that I have at home. I need to be able to get her back and forth and get her the proper beginning that she needs to get started on her life.
Okay, so do you have, would you be willing to provide the friend of the court, in confidence, any paperwork relating to your child's diagnosis?
Yes, I can get you the...
Please be advised, you're not required to divulge that information. I'm not ordering you to. I'm just trying to
no,
way forward.
I know. I do have paperwork stating what she was diagnosed with autism, what level she is, and then I can also get paperwork from ABA stating how many hours she is at ABA.
If you would be willing to provide that to the friend of the court, that would be very helpful to this court.
Okay, yeah, I can. I know she sent me paperwork. I've just been busy dealing with SSI stuff, and I put it in my glove box and kind of forgot about it. So I'm just being honest. It's one of those things that I put in the back of my head. So.
Additionally, it seems that the child support is based on this offer of proof an inappropriate amount of estimated weekly income for Ms. Hart. It appears that there's been a significant change in circumstances fairly recently, almost at the same time as the child support review was conducted. I mean, Ms. Hart, she's certainly not imputed at minimum wage, unless my math is totally off. Is it, Ms. Mullen?
No, Your Honor. Minimum wages, I believe $10.10 an hour. So
Okay.
that would be like $4.40 a week.
All right. So, I mean, I think it would be appropriate for this matter to be submitted to the friend of the court for another child support review. I'm going to adjourn the show cause hearing to see if Ms. Hart will submit some documentation to the friend of the court regarding her child's health issue, and also for a child support review to be conducted.
Okay.
Thank you.
30DS.
You're welcome.
Parties in the case have an order for custody, support, and parenting time signed September 26, 2012, which orders Mr. View to contribute child support and medical support for one child in the amount of $211 per month. The balance on the account currently owed is $1,434, of which $1,078.24 is owed in child support to Mr. Zabrowski. And then there are fees and costs. Medical support owed to the state is $66.27 currently. There's been prior enforcement in the case. And as far as payments on the account in the past year, we had current plus arrears paid in October and November 2022. No payment in December. Current plus arrearages were paid in January through March of this year. No payment for April. Current plus arrears posted in May, and then September, last payment made on the account, a total of $80.84.
Okay. Mr. View, are you currently employed?
Yes, I actually just got a new job. I've just been in between jobs a lot lately. One job I had, they just shut down, which was Midland Fence. They just told everybody that they had to let them go. And I just been in between.
Okay. Is your new job like a self-employed arrangement, or do you have an employer?
No, I have an employer. It's Mandy's Diner out of Bay City, Michigan.
And when did you get that job?
Like 2-3 weeks ago.
And is it full-time or part-time? How many hours?
It's full-time. I'm working anywhere from, I want to say 28 to 30 or 34 hours.
Okay. That's a little less than full time. Full time is generally considered 35 hours.
35. I might be wrong. I'd have to go through all the stuff.
Okay.
But I know she said it's full time. I really don't pay attention to my hours. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to keep my bills paid.
All right. So, what, as far as your housing situation, could you tell me about that?
I rent a house. Me and my mom split a house together. Rent's like $900 a month. I can't remember what basic, because it's always fluctuated, the city bill or the gas bill or anything like that.
Okay. How long have you and your mom been renting that place?
Since December 2019, I believe.
Okay. And are you current on rent?
Am I caught up on it?
Yes.
Yeah. I literally just now finally starting to catch everything up. I know I'm back. I'm planning on trying to send what I can soon to you guys. I was just trying not to lose where I was living.
What did you have to get caught up on?
My rent and my base city bill. I just finished catching that up on my last paycheck, which I just got paid this last Thursday.
Okay. Thank you.
So I am sending more money not this Thursday, because I get paid bi-weekly.
All right. Mr. Bralski, was there anything that you wanted to say today?
No.
Okay. So the statute that the court has to apply today is MCL 552.633. That statute provides in subsection 3 that in the absence of proof to the contrary introduced by the payer, the court shall presume that the payer has currently available resources equal to 1 month of payments. In this case, Mr. View made an offer of proof that he's actually not been able to be current on his rent or on his city utilities. He indicated he just got caught up on his rent and utilities with his last paycheck. He's had job insecurity. He made diligent efforts to get his current job at Mandy's Diner, which he's been at for about 3 weeks now. Sounds like it might be less than full time, but he was told it's full time. It seems like this is one of the better jobs that he's had in quite some time, based on what I've heard today.
Yeah.
And so he indicated that he's going to be making payments going forward. On this record, the court finds that there's proof that Mr. View has not been able to make the full amount as ordered. And he's showing diligence in trying to, get himself in a better situation. So for all those reasons, the court is going to dismiss the order to show cause. That will conclude our hearing.
556DS. This is an arrears only case as of November 2010. The last charge on the account was $147 per month for one child. Mr. Mansberry paroled back in March 2020, and we had enforcement in this case last in April of this year. He indicated he was working part-time. Indicated he had some medical issues. We did not receive any documentation as of yesterday, and he offered to pay $50 a month on the account in this case. The balance owed is $4,178.89, of which $1,083.81 is owed to Miss Finch in child support, and then the remainder is fees, cost, and birth and delivery and child support arrearages, all owed to the state. Payments on the account since the April show cause hearing. In June, we received $50. September, we received $50. And I believe Mr. Mansberry made a payment yesterday for $50, which hasn't shown on the account yet.
Okay.
And then he has a second case. I don't know if you want me to call that one.
Sure, let's go ahead.
Okay. This is also an arrears only case as of June 2021. It's the matter of Mary Barnes versus Jeffrey Mann. The balance on the account owed in this case is $2,364, of which $1,782 is owed to Miss Barnes in child support and medical support arrearages. There are fees and costs. And there was one child in this case who last charging was $138 per month. Payments made in this case since our April hearing in June, $50 paid. September, $100 was received on this case. And then again, I believe a pending $50 payment was made a couple days ago.
Okay, thank you. So Mr. Mansberry, are you currently employed at all?
Oh, I am working part-time due to my medical conditions.
Okay. And I guess were you provided with a physician's disability form to give to your doctor?
Yes.
Okay.
I gave it to my doctor and she sent it to Lansing to get their approval. And I have a doctor's appointment this afternoon at 4. So I will be talking to my doctor again this afternoon.
All right. So you might be able to get some more information about what's going on with that form, because that's good. That's going to be important for the friend of the court to get.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're going to have to adjourn this hearing to find out what's going on with that form. And in the meantime, I guess we could send Mr. Mansberry another one. Maybe even could we email him one? Do you have a way to print it off, take it to your doctor today when you see your doctor?
Yeah.
Well, in any event, I'm adjourning these 2 hearings for those reasons. It sounds like there's some more documentation that we need to get. But Mr. Mansberry, I am going to require you to provide the friend of the court with any documentation regarding these health issues prior to our next hearing. So you can get copies of documents from your doctor today. You'll be required to provide those documents that you get to the friend of the court for us to take a look at when we come back. And we'll also check on the status at that time of the physician's disability form.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Hello, Ms. Bunker. This is referee Paciorka. Are you able to hear me?
Oh, yes. Yes, I am.
I can hear you as well. This is a friend of the court show cause hearing regarding child support. And before we get started, I have to advise you that you have the right to request a court-appointed attorney. If you make that request, we will postpone today's hearing to give you time to talk with your lawyer. And Ms. Bunker, are you requesting a court-appointed attorney today?
Is there a fee for it, or?
At this point, typically there's no fee.
Yeah, if today's proceeding goes forward, can I request a court-appointed attorney between now and if there is a next hearing, or?
Well, why don't we do this? Since, I mean, potentially, you could be subject to being found in contempt of court. And in that case, you would be placed on a payment plan. And that potentially could all occur today. And then if that were to happen, and then if you were to not make payments according to the payment plan, at that point, a bench warrant would issue for your arrest. So in light of all of that, it seems that maybe before we even do today's hearing, that we should go ahead and appoint counsel for you. Would you agree with that?
I don't feel I'm in contempt of court. I've been making payments.
I understand, but if I find you in contempt, all of those consequences could happen. Would you like the court to appoint you an attorney today?
No, I don't think so.
Very well. Ms. Mullen, please call the case.
Thank you. This is a matter of Jennifer Bunker versus Paul Bunker. This is an adjournment last from September 27th to today's date and time, and we've been monitoring for payments. Parties have a third order modifying judgment of divorce signed March 7th, 2022, which orders Ms. Bunker to contribute child support and medical support for 2 children in the amount of $334 per month, which is a decrease from a previous charge of $637 per month. There has been prior enforcement on the case. The current balance owed is $6,997.62, of which $6,276.44 is owed in child support to Mr. Bunker. There are fees and costs, and medical support owed to the state is currently $516.18. Recent payments on the account in the past year. We had current support from October of 2022 through February of this year. No payments from March through May of this year. And then we had a payment of $250 in June, a payment of $200 in July, $334 in August, and then September, $167, and then October so far, $334.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Bunker, did you have any particular response that you wanted to make today to the order to show cause?
The reason that my payments decreased from the $600 and some to the $334 is I lost the source of employment that had the automatic withdrawal, which was with my employer. They were bought out by another company, which was downsizing. So that's why. And I since have had to revert back to a local source of employment here as a beekeeper. So I have been doing my best to pay as much as I can of the $334. She just listed out my payments. And so I'm doing as much as I can. I get a monthly salary of $600. And I'm supposed to be getting a salary increase in February when the beekeeping season starts to get busier. Currently do not have a place to stay back in the United States if I was even to get there. I'm working on those issues, but that is my situation at the moment. I have, like she said, I made a payment of the $334 in October, and I have every means possible to make those payments on a regular basis. What I would request is that in addition to the $334 of regular child support, is it possible to roll in an additional like $20 a month to be applicable to the arrears? Is that possible?
Not, I mean, at this point, that would be up to you to do, I guess, informally. Okay. So the order only requires you to pay the $334. There's no order that requires you to pay an additional amount at this point.
Okay, is the $334 just to is that the regular child support amount, or does that include a payment to the arrears?
My understanding is that's just the regular amount. Mm-hmm. It doesn't include any payment to the arrears.
So anything above that would be automatically paid to the arrears?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I understand.
And then how long have you been with your current employer?
This current employer, about 2 months. 2 months. Beekeeping is a very challenging job here, and some come, some go. And if you've been watching the news at all, not just recently, but the economy in Lebanon is difficult, and beekeepers come and go. And a lot of them have been going in the last month because of the very volatile situation here right now. But I am currently in a location that is safe. It's in the north of the country, which is not anywhere near where the current flies difficulties are. So
would it be possible to get an order of income withholding to your employer?
That's not, I get paid in cash. Everything is done cash here.
Okay. So
the banking system here does not exist anymore. It's dead.
Okay. All right. Do you believe that you'll be able to make the regular child support payment at the very least moving forward?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I will. Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and adjourn this to monitor for payment.
Parties
appreciate it.
in the case
Thank
have
you.
a judgment of divorce
Thank
signed
you.
April 12th, 2022, which orders Mr. Hall to contribute child support and medical support for one child in the amount of $396 per month. Excuse me, this is an adjourned matter from September of this year to monitor for payments. The current balance owed on the account, $2,121.12, of which $1,983.45 is owed in child support to Miss Hall. $116.67 is owed in medical support to the state, and then there are fees. This is a continuation of a first show cause hearing. Payments on the account recently. The last we had was April of $171.88. That was through withholding. And then Mr. Hall made a $300 payment in September of this year. And then he just paid $200 this month so far.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hall, are you currently employed?
Kind of. I'm a roofer, and it's been terrible the last 3 weeks. I actually just got the job, but it's just raining and everything else.
And how long have you been a roofer for?
Ooh, I'd say 4 months.
And do you work for yourself, or do you have an employer?
I have an employer.
And who is your employer?
Dean Stevenson.
Okay. Is Mr. Stevenson a subcontractor?
I don't think so.
Okay. So do you think he's a general contractor?
Yeah, he just, we show up at like 8 o'clock, and then he pays us on Friday.
And does Mr. Stevenson, does he have a name to his business? Do you know?
Dean's Pole Barn and Roofing.
Dean's Pole Barn and Roofing.
Yes, sir.
So do they put up the pole barns too? They do the kits?
Yes, sir.
And do you do that work too?
Occasionally, if there's not any roofs, but not usually.
Okay. So prior to working for Dean's Pole Barns and Roofing, did you have different work?
Yeah, and then I got laid off, and then everything's been just downhill from there.
How long were you laid off for?
Till I got this job.
And how long do you think you went without work?
6 months.
Okay. As far as transportation, do you have transportation?
I actually just got a vehicle.
Okay. And
I also, sorry.
Yep. Did you, did you buy it on your own, or do you own it with somebody else?
No, my boss loaned me the money to get it.
Okay. Have you paid your boss back yet?
I'm working on it. I pay him $150 a week.
Okay. What is your housing situation?
I got like 4 years left on my house. I pay $500 a month.
Okay. And are you current on your mortgage or your land contract, whatever the case may be?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I also have 4 other children.
Okay.
He does.
And as far as just other bills, though, I mean, are you current on all of your bills, or if not, what are the problems?
Lord, I don't even have propane, to be honest. But I'm working on it. DHS won't fill it because I owe child support, so that screwed me. My electric's behind a month, but I'm gonna catch up on that.
How are you gonna get caught up on that?
Working, I'm hoping.
Okay.
If this rain holds up. It's just this weather that's kind of screwing me.
Any other bills that you're behind on?
Child support.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. And then who all is living in the house with you?
Okay, so I have my wife. I have two other children with her, and then she has two other children that come on the weekends, and then I get my son on the weekends sometimes.
Okay. And are you providing daycare for any of those children?
No, my wife stays at home. I'm the only one working.
Okay.
He watches the kids.
All right. And the two children that you have with your wife, what are their ages?
1 and 2.
Okay. All right then. Was there anything else that you wanted to say today, Mr. Hall?
No, sir. I mean, I'm doing the best I can.
All right. Thank you. And Miss Hall, Danche, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Was there anything that you wanted to say today?
No.
All right. So this is a case where Mr. Hall paid $200 this month. That's still, less than the total amount that's due. The child support order requires a monthly payment of $396. MCL 552.633 subsection 3 states, in the absence of proof to the contrary introduced by the payer, the court shall presume that the payer has currently available resources equal to 1 month of payments under the support order. Mr. Hall made an offer of proof that he's behind on his electric in addition to child support. That would tend to suggest that he doesn't have currently available resources to pay all of the $396 this month. He has paid a portion of the amount that was due this month. Subsection 1A indicates that if the court is satisfied that the payer has the capacity to pay at least some portion of the amount due under the support order and fails to do so, that the payer will be held in contempt. But in this case, Mr. Hall has paid a portion. And he's paid a portion since the last show cause hearing. So in sum, the court does not find sufficient evidence to warrant a finding of contempt against Mr. Hall. For that reason, the order to show cause will be dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a first show cause hearing for Mr. King. Parties have a second order modifying temporary order for custody, support, and parenting time, signed May 26, 2023, which orders Mr. King to contribute child support and medical support for 2 children in the amount of $633 per month, beginning April of this year. It is a reduction from a prior charge of $1,207 per month. The current balance on the account owed is $7,955, of which $7,435.82 is owed in child support to Miss King. Medical support owed to the state is currently $470.18, and then there are fees. Payments on the account most recently, Mr. King has been making all payments on the account. In July, a total of $720 posted. September, $180. In October so far, $380.
Okay, thank you. Mr. King, was there any particular response that you had to the show cause today?
No, sir. I just work with the rain and everything. That's the reason why I wasn't paying it. It wasn't working.
So
like 2 weeks in a row.
Are you self-employed, or do you have an employer?
It's an employer. I'm self-employed, but I work for the same guy usually.
Okay, and who do you work for?
Cottage Services.
Cottage Services. And how long have you been working for Cottage Services?
4 months, 5 months.
Right. And what do you do for them?
Construction.
Okay. What any particular trade?
Just carpentry, pretty much everything.
Okay. And is it residential or commercial or a combination?
Residential.
Right. And where are most of your jobs at?
They're around Mansalona, Alden. Right now we're in Charlevoix.
Okay. And what are you working on in Charlevoix?
It's a waterproof deck. Okay. Well, it's a underlayment for the deck to make the lower section waterproof.
Okay. Do you have your own tools?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have transportation?
Yes, sir.
What's your housing situation?
I live in a camper.
Okay. What are you going to do for the winter?
We're trying to find a place. It just rent's really high.
Okay. Does your camper have heat?
Yes, sir.
Does it have water?
Yes, sir.
How do you get water to the camper?
It's at my sister's house.
So
we're just in the yard.
You hooked a water line up to your sister's house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And when you say rent's too high, what have you looked at? What are the prices?
There's my girlfriend's been looking. She's seen one for $2,500 for a 4-bedroom. My girlfriend's been looking. She's found one for a 4-bedroom for $2,500. We're looking at one over in Lake City is a 3-bedroom for $1,400. And we need at least a 3-bedroom.
Why do you need a 3-bedroom?
One for us, one for the girls, and one for the boys.
Okay. So, who all is normally living with you?
Me, my girlfriend, her daughter Dana, her son Michael, and then our son Logan.
Okay. All right. What about do you have car insurance?
Yes, sir.
Are you current on that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other bills the court should know about?
No, not really. I mean, I got a rental unit or a storage unit that I have in Mansalona.
How much?
190, or it's 170, but I'm always late, so it's 190.
All right. Okay. Anything else you wanted to say today?
Just the reason why the lack in payment is usually for the weather. If we don't have inside work and it's raining, we can't work, so we get called off. There was several weeks I only had 20 to 24 hours worth for a paycheck, and I was like, okay, that pays for my gas for the week and food for the week. There's nothing else I can pay for.
Understood. And the statute the court has to apply is MCL 552.633. That statute provides in subsection 3 that in the absence of proof to the contrary introduced by the payer, the court shall presume that the payer has currently available resources equal to 1 month of payments under the support order. In this case, 1 month of payments under the support order equals $633. The court finds that Mr. King has made a sufficient offer of proof to show that he does not have enough money to pay $633 this month anyway. The record indicates that he has been reasonably diligent in paying child support when he can, perhaps not the full amount. He's been working for cottage services for about the past 5 months. So he certainly has exercised diligence in seeking employment. In some, the court does not find that the record rises to a level that would warrant a finding of contempt against Mr. King. So for those reasons, the order to show cause will be dismissed. Your lawyer. Thank you. And Mr. Bullock, are you requesting a court-appointed attorney today?
Well, I have a question. I have to go meet my attorney next week. So I'll have an attorney, I guess.
So you have the right to have an attorney represent you at this hearing. Would you like that to happen?
I don't see why there would be any reason for an attorney, no.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and move forward with this hearing today. Ms. Mullen, if you would please call the case.
Thank you. This is a matter of Lisa Bullock versus David Bullock. This is an adjourned matter from August of this year to today's date and time. We've been having some difficulty with a good address for Mr. Bullock. He did not appear at the last hearing, but this is an arrears only case and that has been the case since February 2016. There were 2 children of the parties, and the current balance owed is $10,582.21, of which $9,339.48 is owed in child support to Miss Bullock. The state is owed $89.73, and then there are fees and costs. There's a history of enforcement, but in preparing the case earlier this year for hearing, there's also been some medical that Mr. Bullock was providing to friend of the court, but that ended on or about January, February of this year, and there hasn't been any further documentation. Payments on the account, at this point, there haven't been any since 2020, and that was an involuntary stimulus check, I believe, that hit the account for $1,200.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bullock, are you currently employed?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. I'm disabled. I had spinal surgery, and there's nerve damage in the left leg. I use a cane and a walker to walk around.
Okay. And what is your housing situation?
Yeah. My housing situation right now is I'm at a halfway house, and they let me stay here for free, and I do what I can do to help Marge out. They're helping me, so.
All right. And how long have you been at that location for?
About 2 months.
Prior to that, where were you living?
My house, 6631 Wilderness Drive.
Okay. What do you do for transportation?
My sisters or family members take me back and forth to the doctors, and I do have. I called over to Traverse City and tried to get some more doctors' slips, and I couldn't get them. I never ended up getting them. So the doctor made some up, and I have those. I can get to the front of the court.
Right. What is the status of your disability?
I did my own appeal. And the attorney told me to wait till I got the stamp on the appeal, and he'll take over from there. So this week I'll sign papers, or next week I'll sign papers with him.
Right. And have you actually located that attorney? You have an attorney that you're going to be using?
Yeah, it's going to be Cosma, and I have it written down in my room.
We're familiar with the Cosma firm. Thank you. All right. So based on all of this, Mr. Bullock, could you please send the friend of the court these forms that your physician gave you?
Yeah. Well, we actually whited out the ones that I was getting from them because they quit sending them. So we made some up. So yeah, I'll get those into the friend of the court right away.
And if you have any other documentation regarding your disability, please send that as well. So that's it's a court order. So I mean, the court's ordering you to provide documentation, something to show to provide an update on your disability, and then the friend of the court's going to send you some more forms you can give to your physician. And we're going to adjourn this hearing to give you time to provide documentation to the friend of the court and for you to get new physician's disability forms to give to your doctor.
That would be great.
Okay, that will conclude our hearing. Thank you.